the other docuseries that I watch, and again, it's, I do get intrigued with a lot of the news, especially when it comes to some of the controversies and some of the crazy stuff that's happening out there, especially with all the different movements. So, you know, Jeffrey Epstein has always been an interesting topic, and unfortunate stuff that he was involved in, and crazy stuff that he did and was accused of, and was proven to be, kind of the mastermind behind a lot of the unfortunate stuff that he was into. I was always curious, I guess, to learn more about that stuff. And, I took some time for myself to really make sure that I was in the proper headspace to really watch this stuff. And, with the recent arrest of his, ex-girlfriend, who was apparently his right-hand man, especially when it came to a lot of the stuff that he did, it kind of brought it back to the forefront for me, and I was really interested to learn more. So I finally watched Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich on Netflix, and here are my thoughts right now. Am I glad I watched it? 100%. It's great to know and learn more about Jeffrey Epstein. I think he was always shrouded in mystery. Like, we don't know how he made his money. We don't know where he came from. We don't know how he kind of progressed into society to be this like huge financier and all that stuff like that, and the amount of money that he was responsible for, and businesses that he worked with, and people that he was involved with, and all that. So very interesting stuff to learn there. Is this something that I could learn more about, and want to learn more about the stuff that he was involved in detail? No, I really don't want to. I feel like I've learned enough. It was interesting to hear all the stories from all the victims, and again, spoiler alert, if you don't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein, he was a pedophile, and he paid young girls for sexual acts, and when it was all revealed in the news, it was just mind-blowing. And the docu-series really goes into detail as to how he did his business, and how he kind of coerced these young girls to do what he wanted. And again, the really, I guess, mind-blowing and disgusting thing about it too was how much of his ex-girlfriend was involved in it, how she was an active recruiter, and how she participated, and again, this is all according to the accounts of the victims who were featured in the docuseries. And then how he kind of trafficked these girls, and kind of lent favors to other people in that society to go through with their criminal activities and perversions. So again, it's good to watch this and understand like how it really shows you how a man of power can get away with so much, and how much money and influence, and how far that really goes here in the country and in the world. Of course, we always had inklings on and indications of how much that is true, but again, seeing how this whole thing really like panned out, who was involved, who knew, how where it happened. I mean, it was just amazing. And I'm not saying amazing as like I'm trying to glorify it, but just it was just amazing that something like this could be happening for so long. I believe the time span was like from the late 70s all the way up until like the early 2000s. The countless amounts of victims involved, and who got tricked into doing these things, or trapped into doing these things, it's like in the hundreds, and it's really baffling. And again, it's a part of history that is good to know, and if we are to learn anything from it, it allows us to have that conversation and communicate with others, to warn them that these things can happen, warn them on kind of you know, watch out for these type of activities, or watch out for these type of people, or watch out, you know, when you hear certain things or when you're approached in certain ways. But it's just unfortunate that it had to happen like that, and that, you know, all these people were involved in it, and, you know, the crazy stuff that, you know, he was involved in, and those around him. I mean, it is very, very fascinating. And, you know, I am a fan of like the true crime stuff. You know, I've been touting the praises of Unsolved Mysteries, and I'm really happy that show is now on Netflix and they're doing new episodes, so I'm looking forward to that stuff. But and Netflix does a really great job with their documentaries. I mean, they really, really put forth a lot of facts and a lot of accounts from all sides, really, as much as possible. But and I am glad that they put that docuseries together, because again, it makes me learn more about what I've been reading in the headlines, and understanding more about those involved, and putting into light the victims that were involved too, and having their voices heard. Because I think the most tragic part about this whole scenario is that they were unheard of. Like, their voices were unheard for so long, and they were denied chances to talk about it, you know, because of the corrupt justice system in Florida, the prosecutors there, and how they kind of the fact that they were able to strike a deal with Epstein so that he could only spend 18 months in jail, but, you know, deny him having a trial and allowing for the victims to speak up in court was just mind-blowing. And, you know, they do go deep into a lot of that stuff there. But, you know, no need to really further talk about it. But again, if this is something that you're interested in, look, I can't recommend this docuseries to everybody. There's a lot of subject matter in there that's very sensitive and, you know, kind of disgusting, to be honest with you, especially since some of the accounts are very detailed. You know, but this happens in this world. This is something that happens around, and not just only here. It happens worldwide, and sometimes we just never hear about it, or we turn a blind eye on it, or we choose not to pay attention. But, you know, I think we should pay attention to this stuff so that we can kind of work together as a society and make sure that these things don't happen anymore, and that if we hear about certain people who may be involved in this, we act on it right away. No matter how much power they have. I feel like people need to speak up and talk about these things. So, you know, if you feel like you could stomach it, I definitely recommend you watch it. It's you know, it's heavy subject matter. But again, it gives you that knowledge and understanding of all the stuff that was involved with that whole scenario and situations there. So both docuseries worth watching. Definitely check it out. Oh, hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you want to check out my other videos, make sure to access them through this menu that you see on this side of the screen. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, or hit that logo you see right here on this side of the screen. I've always wanted to do that. Catch you next time.